Yay! Welcome to my channel. This is another trial video in which I have a product. It is kind of a review, kind of not a review, only because I haven't used it a lot. So there are ways to experiment, and yeah. Anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and swatch out these paints. They are from MyArtscape. MyArtscape is notable for their heavy body acrylics. They have other products like watercolor, paintbrushes, fine liners, yeah, and I'm sure they got more. My favorite product from them is the heavy body acrylic. I got a large set with the nice box wood furnished case that comes with it, and there's about, I think, 48 colors. I can't remember how many colors, but it's got a good number. Pardon, my dog is growling because he's got his bone, and my other dog is in the vicinity. But yeah, anyways, go ahead and enjoy the swatch, and then we'll get right into the painting. I do want to note that the vermilion, the reds, and the orange colors in this set had probably the lowest light fastness rating, which was surprising to me, and I did actually have the most trouble with using those colors and mixing those colors. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start the swatching process. And I do want to mention at some point my camera did die, so I pretty much missed the other half of the paint swatching process, but I'll show you what it looks like. One thing that kind of stood out to me was this particular color, the burnt umber. I do want to mention paper really does impact how paint will react, how it will look, and how it will dry. So I always take that in mind before I assume that it is the paint. But the drying process was really interesting because it almost looked like the paint itself, the color was evaporating. So I did layer it on again, and the paint actually stayed, and it did layer really well, as you can see here. And this is what it looks like when it's almost dried. So they do dry fairly quickly, but this one took a minute to dry. I don't know why. It's okay. We will test around and we will play with it. We'll get to experience it more once I get into my artwork. Alright, now that we've got our swatch done, this is the booklet that I will be using. It is, I believe, the Fabriano, let me check, because it's been some time. Oh no, it's not. It's the Fluid watercolor paper. Really great. I love it. It's a black, and I've used it for both oil pastels and, well, now I'm going to be using it for gouache. So yes, this is a hot press. It's nice and smooth. I personally like that it doesn't have any tooth because that burnt umber was kind of seeping into the tooth of the other paper. So I want to see how it acts here. And yeah, I really like how white this looks. It's so cool. It's so blank.
Overall, I have to say I do like this paint. I like how it feels when it's dried. It's not overly chalky, it doesn't crack, and what I do like is that any leftover paints can be reused. It depends though. I have been able to reuse most of it, but there are some that might stain on your palette afterwards, but you know, that's okay. And aside from that, I really was happy with it. The vibrancy is still might be an issue, but I did scan my work and the scanning really brought out the colors a lot. However, it might not look that way in person, so that is just something that I might want you to be aware of if you decide that you want to paint something for your friends and give it to them. You might be better off using something with a little more vibrancy in this case, but I am still happy with my result. Here is the scanned result, and you'll see how different it is and how much more vibrant. And again, this is not edited or altered. I simply just grabbed my artwork and I put it in my scanner, and yep, I'm happy with it. Thanks for joining, and thanks for watching.